Hello, Simon. My colleague Oksana was talking to me about setting the time and date on your gauge. If you've got the question, I can guarantee 3 or 4 or more others will have the same. So I thought I'd make a quick video that might be useful for you and others. There's two ways to do this. One is to do it on the gauge itself. It's a little bit more fiddly, but certainly works fine. The easier way, and probably my recommended way, would be to do it on the computer. Be simply because it will mean that you'll be able to sync all your gauges, if you have more than one, to exactly the same time. So if you're exporting to Excel spreadsheets, it will make life much easier. So here's the video, starting with on the gauge, followed by using the computer. G'day, Simon. My name's Greg from Homershams, a colleague of Oksana's at Telfin. So she's telling me you want to set the time on your gauge. So what we do is we have to go into the menu below the units key. Oh, by the way, if you decide you'd rather have Oksana do it, just take it into the branch, but I think you'll find it's fairly easy. So below the units button is the setup symbol. So if we long press on that, we get into a menu, and then we can use the up arrow to step through the menu. So we step through to preset temperature, calibration data, etc., logging off, logging on, radio on, time and date. So we use the 0 button to select. So the year is correct, but if we want to leave that as it is, and then we go to the time and the date. So we'll enter on the date, and today is the 3rd of the 6th. Well, that's right, but it's in the American format. So we're going to accept that. Then we'll go to the time, which is 10:29, which actually is correct. Well, it's 10:28. So that's one way of doing it. The second would be to connect it to the computer and sync it that way. So that's how it's done. But let's assume you wanted to change the time. We would simply select which digit we're changing and change it, etc. And then if you want to sync it, I'll send you a separate video. The best way to do this, in my opinion, is to connect the gauge to the computer as per normal, or as if you were going to download, download data, and then sync your time off the computer. And that way, you're not having to mess around in the settings on the gauge, and it means if you have more than one gauge, you can make sure they're all synced to the exact same time. So I'm connected to the computer here using the Additel Land Wireless software. I go to Setup, I go to Sync Time. See the bottom there? And we should get a message, time sync was successful, and now you have set the time on your gauge to be the same as your computer time.